4000 BC was also here the city of the upper god, the king of gods, like used by the Greeks.
Yes.
Like Buddha in India, or the famous god Amun.
Yes.
Amun-Ra, his name Amun-Ra.
Um.
Of course, today we say the god is Allah. But ancient Egyptians, they have natural religion, like the people today in India or in Central Africa, the people pray for the sky, for the sun, for the river, for the earth god, for the trees, animals, and so on. It was like that. But the ancient Egyptian, they say, from all these gods, it was one God who created the world, and He is the power behind the world. But this is very good. But after that, they make something bad. They say there is other gods, small local gods, kill them.
Okay.
Because the God didn't need somebody to help them. So they built in every city a temple. But they say for Amun, he is the biggest God, the king of gods, the king, the Lord of all gods. And so they built for him a temple. The temple building time, it takes more than 2,000 years. It began from the other side.
Było dostęp do dzisiaj wysadaniesz.
We are my friend Ali Navid.
Navid.
Ali Navid, my friends, we are here. We will go now this direction to the temple.
Yes.
After that, we enter the temple from the back. This was the harbor, the back of the temple. It was here, a canal lead to the Nile. The kings, they didn't need to walk like us or come with donkey. They come with own boats.
Yes.
With the boats and the slave, with help them by the coming here to the temple, and they go forward to the Sphinx Avenue. They make a beautiful way with the Sphinx figure. The head of these Sphinx normally like a human, but here in the temple of Amun they make the head like a ram. A ram was the symbol of the god Amun-Ra. And he is the powerful animal. The ancient Egyptians, they say in their own mythology, the gods, they are gods. They are not animals.
Okay.
But they live in heavens. But each god, he put his own power in one of the animals in the earth. Main thing after that, we go forward to the facade. This is the main gate of the temple. After that, the open courtyard. The open courtyard, the place of the prayer for the normal people to pray. And after that, the Hebrew style hall, the open school, the holy of the holy, beside the temple, we find the sacred lake. My dear friends, we get now a ticket.
Yes.
Each one get a ticket. This ticket, we are going to scan it here. The area of the temple. Like the train ticket, we scan it and we enter, okay?
Is those boats old or just made but like the old?
These boats are new. They are replica. They old boats. They take it from wood and cover them outside from gold because they carry out of them. They are new replicas. Just a new replica. That's not very old. This only 1.5 years. By the 20th century till now we make excavation here. But the idea was that when we open the canal again, the water of the Nile is high, the level of the water higher than the temple. So it will come inside the temple. So we stop the canal like that. We just make a small
Okay.
step as a border for the canal. الحاج علي نسي التليفون عندك. The rich place in Egypt is the temple. It have golden figures for the kings, for the gods, have a lot of money, and of course the Roman, they need the gold
Yes.
all the time, so they attack the temple and
kill the priests.
Yes.
So they destroyed the temple. From this period, the temple was destroyed. But before that, 2,000 years was this temple, the biggest temple all over the world and all over Egypt. And with the religious of Ammon at this time was so strong
Okay.
that the people, they think that the Ammon is the upper god, king of gods and so on. So, dear friends, we need to go in the other side.
Other side.
The control. We are now in front of the temple of Ammon, the biggest god in Egypt, the temple of Karnak. The name Karnak did come from the family who live here in the area.
Okay.
They called Karnak the people who live here, so they call the place Karnak. The other temple in the city, smaller than that,
Smaller.
in the city center, Luxor, so they call it Luxor. The ancient day name for this city was Thebes.
Tips.
Thebes, or in Arabic, Tiba.
Tiba.
Tiba, like in Iran, or like in Medina, from Medina of our Prophet Muhammad, called Taiba. So this was Taiba or Tiba, this Arabic word.
Okay.
And Tiba, this was the sacred of the center of the god, because Tiba mean in the ancient Egyptian language, the hieroglyphic, the sacred place. As I told you, like Mecca today for the Muslim. But when the Roman came, they tried to change the name, and it was a quarrel between the Roman and the Greeks. The Greek, when they came with Alexander the Great, they say the god Ammon is a form of their own god Zeus,
Yes.
and they call this temple the temple of Zeus, and the city of Zeus, the biggest city of Zeus. Zeus Paulus Magnus, the big city of Zeus. But the Egyptian didn't accept that. After that come the Arab people by the Islamic time, and they think that these temples remains, they are the palaces of the pharaohs. So they call the city the palaces city, or Al-Qusur. You know, the
Okay.
four qasr in Arabic, they mean palace.
Yes.
And Al-Qusur, the palaces.
Yes.
They mean in many of these temples, they are palaces of the pharaohs, so they call it the palaces city, or in Arabic, Al-Qusur. The people in the ancient Egyptian dialect, they call it Luxor.
Ah.
So today Luxor is the modern name from the 7th century, but before that was Tiba,
Tiba.
the ancient name. Or Taibet, yeah, Thebes. Thebes. Now we enter the temple. We see the Sphinx Avenue. The Sphinx looks like a head of a ram, the symbol for the god, or the god figure, and the body of the lion. This means the power and the strength. And here was the end of the canal and the harbor of the temple. We enter after that to the facade. The facade which we see here is unfinished, because this is the last part of the temple before the time of Alexander the Great.
And it was
When Alexander the
was
Great comes to
Nile
Egypt,
so
yeah,
here.
the Nile was this here. You know the word violin, this was Latinian word. We use it in all languages. Mean a high facade or a high gate. But this gate was built from the end of the ancient Egyptian pharaonic time. You know, this facade is unfinished. And if you come 100 years older, earlier than this time, you will find here the remains of the ram from muddy bricks, the slope from muddy bricks which they used it to build this building. Most of the people who come from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, or the Egyptians sometimes, when they came here, they ask all the time the same question. How they built something like that? How they raised up these stones more than 5 tons up?
Yes.
Our Egyptian powerful, strong men like Ali, Navid, they can carry 10 tons and move it up to this height. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Or we can do that. Of course, you are Superman, but if it's 20 tons, 50 tons like the pyramids, or 70 or 100 tons like the stones of the pyramids, we can't move it. How they move something like that? They put wooden rolls
On the ramp.
and push the stones up on them. And they use oxes.
Oxes.
Some people say elephants. No elephants here in Egypt. Ox,
Oh.
the cow. They use the oxes and cows to push them with ropes to the building area. But how they raise them up? After 1 meter of the building, they find a problem. The oxes can't jump 1 meter and go up and carry the stones. So they make a slope, a ramp, a causeway from mud bricks, and they began to, like that, a ramp, and they push the stones up to the building. The building go 2 meters, 3 meters, 10 meters higher. The ramp go higher and longer. Do it the same way. It goes more than that. 20 meters, 30, 100 meters. The ramp go higher and longer. When we finish the temple, we have a long ramp, and we have the building covered with the ramp. What
Yes.
they do? They began to finish the building upside down.
And
They began from the upper 2-3 meters. They polished the walls and they began to
Calligraphic
decorate
work,
and color them. They cover them with colors and decoration like the other parts of the temple if you look
Yes.
inside. Because this building is unfinished, so we find here the remains of this ram. It was here, but
Okay.
our archaeologists, they have excavated the ram. But
Okay.
after we have excavated the ram, they find that some people say this was built from the aliens, from other people or other kinds of humans
Technology.
from another planets or
Yes.
not from the earth. So they leave a small part behind the building from this ramp to give us idea about the building.
okay.
And let's go and see that. When you look everywhere here, you find this is raw stones, not polished, not colored.
Yes.
Because it's unfinished. They are-
Okay, this is the ram.
the remains of the ram. Just
Okay.
a small part of this ram. We made
And this is original, right?
yes, this is the original.
They just left it.
We leave it. We want to excavate everything to free the temple
Yes.
foreigner tourists to come and visit the temple. But we find some people say that was built from aliens.
Yes.
So we try to keep it as evidence. This part of the ram. And the original ram it was here. We can make some photos during the explanation.
Yes.
Or if you need, I can leave you for half an hour or 45 minutes by the
Okay.
end to take photos alone.
Okay.
As you
Okay.
like. Or
Yes.
we go together and make 5 minutes or 2 minutes by everywhere. What's for you? So this was here the figure of Tutankhamun.
Okay.
Tutankhamun, he was a young guy. He was a young king. Tutankhamun, he was born by 1500 BC by the 18th dynasty, and he was the son of the king Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
He was, the father died, and when he was 12,
Yes.
and he get the crown 12, only 12 years.
Yes.
But he died
19.
only 7 years, and after that he died young also.
Yes.
And he make only this one here and another one on the other side.
de pouvoir pendant
Waiting.
3 ans. Et on a
from
laissé un enfant
alabaster
qui avait moins de 9 ans
figure.
au pouvoir. Le pauvre,
Yes.
Okay, we go forward.
mauvaise capitale, prendre le pasteur. C'est au milieu. À Maurice, à droite, au milieu.
When we came here, we find this alabaster stone. This is the altar stone of the temple. You know the altar, why the altar?
Yes. مرمر علی مرمر. مرمر. سنگ مرمر.
This marmar or alabaster we call
Ah.
it. Touch it here, Ali. Nabil, touch it with your hand. Touch it. Here. It's cold. You know, the sun rises from 6 o'clock in the early morning here.
Yes.
And all the time the sun rising, it's all the time cold.
Yes.
This is very special kind of a stone. Some people say this stone carry a power inside it. Have a strong power. The ancient Egyptians, they always use these crystal stones. This like kind of a crystals. This from limestone under the pressure and pressing the earth, it began like crystals. You know the diamond idea. Diamond.
Yes. Diamond.
It's cold. It's
Yes.
cold.
Yes.
But under the pressure and press, it will be diamond.
Yes.
So the limestone under press, it will be this stone. So the ancient Egyptians, they make it as a precious stone.
Okay.
And they make the altars, the figures of the kings. They make the jars and vessels which the kings use their own food and drinks inside it from this alabaster.
Okay.
and they say the alabaster carry a special power.
Okay.
So it stay cool all the time.
And for the jugs that keeps interior of mummy,
Of
also
course,
they
yeah.
use
Yeah.
marmar.
For the inside ornaments from
Yes.
the marmar also. Exactly. You are very well. You are very good. For the inside organs of the body.
Yes.
And sometimes make the coffin, the whole coffin, the sarcophagus
Of marmar.
from our marmar,
Ah, okay.
to keep the whole body also. Besides the marmar, we have here granite, the granite figures.
Okay.
These figures from granite. This granite figure represents Ramses II. They restaurate them.
Is it Ramses
They
II?
make restoration.
Which one? Ah,
شیاره مثل درخت کاج هست.
ah.
They restaurate. They work now
No,
by restoration.
he means that the empty place is like a tree.
No, they take, they find small stones and they have to restore the place and put the small stones inside
آها
this part.
علی آقا سنگاشو
This
بده که
restoration.
دارم میچینم پرش کنم.
This figure, you see that,
Yes.
more than 10 meters high
Yes.
from the foundation. This figure, the head, the body, the foundation, all from one piece of stone.
Yes.
More than 40-45 tons.
Oh.
One piece.
Yes.
One
یه
single
تیکه
piece
علی
from
آقا این
granite,
مجسمه یه تیکه گرمی.
granite stone.
Yes. And the same here.
Yeah. The same also here. You know where they pick up the granite? They bring it from
Aswan.
more than 250 kilometers away.
Yes. این سنگا رو همه رو از
Strong
اسوان
men.
آوردن 250
A
کیلومتر.
strong young men like you carry them, or they carry them with boat.
بوت.
Yeah.
Yes. با قایق آوردن سنگا.
Some people say with a train. They carry it with a train,
Okay.
but alien train. That's crazy idea. Yeah? When I think about it, yeah, it's crazy, really crazy. The alien come here and built a temple for us, and after 2,000 years, they go away, and we didn't find any
Evidence.
evidence or any remains for them. This is a Mozambique, and now we enter the Hebrew style hall.
This area could normal people
This is the
enter.
normal people.
But
this
here-
is a open courtyard.
Yes.
But up here, only the elites
Yes.
and kings and the priests.
Yes.
So we are kings. We can enter. Yeah. Or Hagali, king. You're our king today. Yeah.
علی آقا از این
The upper king.
از این دروازه بعد فقط شاه‌ها و چیزا میتونستن بیان.
Yeah. Sunki is
کائنات.
Really? Really, my friend, welcome. I like this family. They are good people. I know the tomb of Muhammad Rida Balawi and see that in Cairo.
You are son Abbas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what Rida in Cairo. What is the
This one is polished and finished, right?
Now, yeah, this
I mean
polished
the-
and finished and colored. Everywhere
Yes,
colored.
yes, yes.
And you know, the restoration team,
Yes.
they work by restoring the colors and restoring the
Okay.
building. But by the way, they didn't invent a new color. This is the original.
This is
from
original.
3,400 years. This was built 1,400 BC.
رنگا علی آقا مال 4,000 سال پیش،
دیگر.
500 سال پیش رنگ.
Let's go deeper so I can explain you that and show you that. Dear friends, this hall alone more than 5,000 square meters. It was built from the time of the 19th dynasty. 3 generations of kings. King Ramses I, he began. His son, Seti I, he continued, and Ramses II, the step or the grandson, he finished the building. You know, 100 years of work in this place. So when I told you that whole temple, 2,000 years, that's not so much.
No. Yes.
So let's enter deeper and show you something. When we come closer, we see the colors.
Oh.
The best preserved part of the temple, this part. The columns and the colors, they are the meaning in the original forms, like in you.
Yes.
Our archaeologist team, they have worked hard to restore them and clean them. And so when we look to the colors, we find that they are so fine and so colored. You know,
Yes.
Haj Ali, when we see that, we can imagine that we bent it in you, but it's not in you. It's the original, everything.
Well,
You know, my friend, when we came here, can we come closer, please? Little bit. So when we came here, we find that everything here was painted in color in hieroglyphics. Ancient hieroglyphic. You know, this here, the hieroglyphic alphabet. The language of the ancient Egyptian was a picture language. You know, if they'd like to draw a man, you know, Navid, when they'd like to draw a man, they write a man, sorry,
yes.
they draw a man. They'd like to write a lady, draw a lady.
Yes.
They'd like to say people, draw a man, lady, and 3 strokes. This means a lot of this kind. They'd like to say one lady and one man, one family, one man and one lady and one struck. But when they like to write something, they draw it by
Yes.
the began. This was the beginning of the language, but they find that it's not enough.
Yes.
So they began to find kind of writing. This writing was like that, you know, the hieroglyphic
Yes.
letters. They find 26 letters or 30 letters. They are one single letter with one single letter. One single picture with one single letter. But they have also some pictures with 2 letters. Picture with 3, with 4, with 5, with 6 letters. And this built the ancient hieroglyphic language. And this is the language of which they use it as a temple
Yes.
everywhere. You know, today we write for our clients the names in hieroglyphic like that in cartouches, like that. This, everywhere here we find these cartouches. This
Yes.
opal form was eternity, the sign
Of name.
We call it shin. This was a symbol of eternity and long life. And they make this like a writing but sign to write the names of the kings. You know, when you came here to Egypt, most of the tourists, they carry these things, cartouches in the hand, the bracelet or cartouches like something like that. This
Yes.
like souvenir from Egypt with the name of them in a cartouche, because the ancient Egyptians, they think that this cartouche was the symbol for the eternity.
Yes.
So, you know, now we go to the sacred lake, the sacred area of the temple. But before that, I'd like to show you the temple colors here when we go to the sacred lake.
Yes.
And after that, we can go to the Holy of the Holy. Okay, that's what the father, yeah.
And
So-
this one is colors.
You know,
Well preserved.
the god Ra. here we see the god Amun, and
Yes.
his wife, the god Smut, and in front of them the king make the offerings.
Yes.
In some festivals, like for the Muslim, for example, the offerings fest or the fasting fest, the people they bring meat and give it for the poor people. The ancient Egyptian was doing the same. The king is standing and make the offerings, but this time not for the poor people, but for the god and for the temple, for the priests in the temple. So they make the offerings, and here the god Amun looks like that. This form of the god, and his wife Mut. Ancient Egyptians, they say the god, they are triple, the gods. Amun, Mut, and his. You can keep it if you like. Okay, to write your name.
Is it
Amun, Mut, and Kunsu. Because they were living here. Here also the prayer and the king was leaded from two gods to the temple, the king of the gods. And here is this tree, we call it the eternity tree. And here the god Tod, like the form of the ibis bird, he write the name of the king Ramses in the eternity.
Okay.
So in the eternity tree, and after the eternity tree, we find the three gods, the triple of the temple. Ancient Egyptian say all the time that there is a triple. Amun, his wife Mut, and his son Kunsu. So the triple was Amun, Mut, and Kunsu. The triple.
okay?
Here Amun, his wife Mut, his son Kunsu.
Okay, and there is no Osiris here because it's
Yeah,
a
there
temple.
is in
not-
some,
not a tomb.
this is temple for Amun, not
Yes.
for Osiris.
Okay.
But we see Osiris in some other parts, but not here, not
Okay.
in this hall.
In Valley of the King, that we
Of
allow.
course, yeah,
Yes.
and by the tombs. Yeah.
Yes.
Naveed,
Yes.
the priests, they go every day to purify themselves. But by us, the Muslim or the Christian, or I think by the Jewish, I don't know exactly, they go to pray, they wash themselves before the prayer.
Yes.
We didn't make a complete wash, but we wash our hand, face, and head, and the legs. And this is the same, or feet. The priests, they wash the whole body
Okay.
and wear white clothes and go to pray in the temple every day. Where is the place of wash here? This was the sacred lake over there. The purifying place. 2000 BC, when they built the temple, they was every day going to the Nile to wash themselves. But in the Nile there is crocodiles,
Yes.
and it was far away from here. And when they got water here for hundreds of or thousands of the priests, it's heavy and not easy. So they make their own sacred lake here in the temple.
Oh, that's the one-piece granite.
This piece, the obelisk. I will tell you about the obelisk after that. Obelisks.
Yes.
We have here in the temple more than 15 obelisks, or remains of 15 obelisks. We have found remains of 15 obelisks here in the temple. Some of them, two of them, they are in the original position. There's both of them. The first one from the time of the Queen Hatshepsut,
Yes.
1500 BC. This was 23 meters high. Its weight about 250 tons. The other obelisk from the time of the father of the Queen Hatshepsut.
Father of Hatshepsut.
Yeah, this 19 meters high. It's more than 170 tons. One single piece.
Yes.
You
Both.
know, the whole obelisk.
Yes.
Yeah, both of them are single piece. This was also part of the second obelisk of the Queen Hatshepsut. But in the Middle Age time, the people, they destroy the obelisk. They cut it in small pieces. Luckily, we find this piece in a good position, in a good condition. So in a good condition, so we bring it here to beside the sacred lake. And the other one, the scarab. The scarab, this was the normal scarab, you know, the scarab insect. We find that in the fields here in Egypt. The people think that the scarab was a symbol of life and eternity. And he is the God who brings the sun. When he brings the sun, he brings the luck and the new day. And so the people say the scarab is symbol for luck.
Yes.
And yeah, some of the guards and guides say when you go around 10 times you will be lucky. But this is bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yes. No.
Okay. So my friend, here is the sacred lake. This was built by the 18th dynasty.
18th
About-
dynasty.
Yeah.
Like Akhenaten.
1500 BC, from the time of the king Thutmose III mostly. And this was the prayer place or the purifying place to purify for the priests to purify themselves.
And it's deep.
Yeah, deep, about 5 till 10 meters deep.
Okay, how water get here now?
This is groundwater.
Oh, this is groundwater.
Yeah, not from the Nile, but we have some water. We have pumps here to pump the water out to the Nile to keep it fresh, all
Fresh,
the time.
yes.
Yeah. This is the theater there. This for the light show.
Ah, in Nur
The
Minna
sound
Zomjali.
and light show every day. So my friend, now we have about 20 of 10:20 clock. So 40 minutes
40 minutes.
or 30 minutes as you like.
What
We
time
can
is it
meet-
now? It's like 10:20.
Yeah, 10:20. So 11 o'clock or little bit 5 or 10 before 11 as you like. When you finish, you come to me in the front, or we can be together all the time as you like. You can go slowly back.
I think it's better we go around together.
Together.
Together, yes.
Okay, that's a good
But,
idea. Okay, that's a good idea. no, it's, yeah, you know why I make the free time? Because in the groups, we have 40, 50 people. They
Yes.
are different. Some
Yes,
people want
yes.
to go in this direction, some people want to go here.
Yes.
I can't do that for all. Yeah, let's continue.
Yes.
We go now deep to the...
What is that space?
This was like a niche, a small niche hole for the figure, for the king.
برای مجسمه است. مجسمه
Yeah.
بردن. And the statue is like
Yeah, it was
Gone.
destroyed, yeah,
Yes.
gone. They steal it or something. You know, these figures representing the Queen Hatshepsut. She
Hatshepsut.
was a lady, queen.
yes.
And this like the other niche, but bigger here. The other smaller was also like that. The figure represent the king or the god. Was this niche. But later the Yeah, my friend. David.
Okay.
Анастасия, да? Или Настя. Если вы не хотите знать характер друг друга через дружеский паспорт, уважаемые,
Düşümü de bir açtım.
друзьями, соседями, сами, уважаемые. Давайте, уважаемые, вместе здесь.
The sacred room.
Первая буква А, смотрите, это буква Н.
The prayer room where they both for the God. To bleed the God every day they have to offer him something. Like meat, chicken, fish, beer, wine, everything that offer. But where is the God? They make
Вторая
it wood.
буква А, вот
When you there, this was a gold with shovel from wood, wooden shovel. They put inside it the golden figure. Golden figure is golden figure. So, and I mean, here was the trouble of the God.
Yes.
And every day, the God sitting here from gold figure represents the God. Every day, the high priest bring here the offering, meat, chicken, fish, beer, wine, vegetables, fruits, as offering for the God. But of course, the God yeah, the walls are running because this is the sacred room, the important room in the temple, the holy room. And of course, here was the God figure from God. You know, every day they make the offerings and they know that the God willing eat. The God didn't eat. Who eat the food? Of course, the priest.
Yes.
But how they explain that for the king and for the people, they say the God is a soul. The soul of the God comes from heavens, go in the figure, make him alive and take the food. But anyway, the God figure didn't take the food.
Yes.
The ancient Egyptian priests say that God takes the soul of the food. And we as a priest, we eat the food.
The rest.
Yeah, the rest of the God. We eat the rest of the God. But actually, they say that the food inside it, it have a power. The God take the power of the food, and we as a priest, we eat dead food without power. Like today we say zero cola,
Yes.
zero coke, without power, without energy and sugar. So the same, zero food without energy.
Can you take a picture of me here?
Yeah.
I stand there.
Yeah, okay. Look to me. 1, 2, straight. 1, 2, straight.
And stay here so you can take the whole. I stand here, you can take the whole view of the temple.
No, you're not allowed to go here.
No. I can stand here. You take a picture again.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't see.
Okay.